Today we're going to be doing archery tips just in the garage. So yeah, let's get it started. The first tip that I have is having a consistent anchor point. I have this little kisser button, so it helps me anchor at the same spot, because when you anchor at the same spot, you're seeing to the peak the same, and it makes everything better when you're shooting. So as you can see, I'm putting the corner of my mouth up to this button, and it helps me stay on the same elevation point, so I can see clearly through my scope housing, and it just makes a more consistent shot. Alright, so today I'm going to be showing you the sky draw and how it just gives you away your position. So here it is. You're just staying up, and then you can travel all the way down to your target, and it's just not something you're going to want to do obviously in the stand. And it just gives you away when you're sitting there. So I would not recommend that, but you should just obviously get the nice smooth drawback how you're supposed to. Just try to go up a little bit. Then when you draw back, just come right back down. Then you're on your target and you can just shoot. So the second archery tip that I have for you guys is, after you get drawn back and you're at your consistent anchor point, it's how to look through your scope housing at the target. And I know it sounds silly, but this can really affect your shot. If you're only focusing on your pins, it's going to make you wobble more, and you're going to have more target panic than if you're looking at the target through your pins and focusing on the target. It'll blur your pins, and you'll be able to see where you need to put the pins on to shoot, but it'll make your target panic less, and you'll have less pin flow. So when I go back, I'm anchored, and when I'm looking at my point, I can see my pins, and it makes me want to wobble more because I'm focused more on where my pins are, as opposed to where the target is. But when I'm looking at the target and I can barely see my pins, it makes me less worried about where I'm shooting, because I know exactly where I shoot it, I'm going to hit the target. Alright, so for my second tip is to push and pull. So I'm going to show you guys that, and always remember to go up just a little bit and come down to the target as you draw, do not do the sky draw. So when you see, I just hold my finger on the target, and when I'm ready, I just push my front arm forward and pull the back one until it fires. And there's the shot. So yeah, just always remember to push and pull until it goes off. My last and final archery tip for you guys is going to be about breath and when you should shoot. So when you breathe in, your bow is going to rise with your breath, and when you breathe out, it's going to lower your breath. But after you blow out, you always have a natural pause. That's when you should shoot. I'll show you here. So when I breathe up, my scope housing goes up a little bit because I'm breathing. When I breathe out, it goes down. But there's a little point in the middle after I breathe out where nothing's moving. That's when you want to shoot. So right here, I have that natural point. I'll show you shooting. And then once you do that, make sure you push and pull like Bryce said, and then you should be good. Alright, so when we're talking about bows and how to follow through, so on your shot, you want to when you're doing your push and pull, that'll help to fall back into it. And then if you want, I would like to do when I'm shooting a little bit longer distance, because it just comes more naturally. You're gonna when you drop your back arm, you'll fall, your bow will come to your hip. And now let's see that in a full range of motion. Alright, so we're gonna keep doing the push and pull that we were talking about. And you're gonna push, pull, when you fire, you're gonna fall and it'll go down and not snap your arrow. So I'm gonna be showing you what not to do. So everything in one smooth movement of what you're not supposed to do. So here's the sky draw, then anchoring down, not getting the right anchor point, getting on the target, and just punching the trigger.
So this is what it's going to look like when you're using all of our tips and you're doing them right. So first, you're not going to sky draw. You're going to just draw normally. And then you're going to anchor in the same spot as always. And then when you're looking through your pins, you're going to look at the target, not your pins. When you shoot, you're going to push and pull, and you're going to follow through like this.
So the arrow tips that we did, the first one that we started with was our sky draw and the anchor point. So like when you're sitting on the target, it's also kind of a thing. When you sky draw, when you come back down, you kind of still have to find your anchor point because you're going to be a little lower. So then you have to find that. And when you're looking through your scope, you need to just look through the scope and get on the target. Don't worry about your pins until you're right about to shoot. So then next one was our follow throughs. So on our follow through, you always still want to go just and fall down, bring everything down. Then last one, or one of our last ones, was our push and pull. So when you get back and just push and pull until you do the same falling motion as follow through.